It is all in the hair. Many fans are convinced that the hair transplant that Mo Salah has done recently is the main reason behind his flying start to the season at Liverpool. And in today's video, we will be looking at the good, the bad of this hair transplant, as well as the recent 7-month result. Hey, welcome back to Let's Get Hair. My name is Matt. I have done 3 hair transplants and 1 correction surgery, and over the last 7 years, I helped more than 2,000 clients in person find the right clinic match for them. As finding the best clinic for your hair type, expectation, and budget that will do the job right and safely can almost feel like doing accounting for the first time if you have never done it. So if you want to get your hair back the right way, maximize the whole hair transplant money and time investment, make sure you hire an industry insider who knows what he's doing. And because this is probably one of my last videos I will make in 2024, I would also like to thank you everybody for supporting Let's Get Hair, tuning to my regular hair loss and hair transplant content, and looking forward to see you in 2025 as well. And before we start with the hair transplant breakdown, this video has been brought to you by GoFiber. These are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning or patchy areas on your scalp to make your hair look thicker and better. So check out the link in the video description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice, and try them out. See if you like them. Alright, so let's first take a look at Mo Salah's hair loss history. 2015, we can see him having the Norwood 1.5 hairline with slight recession already on the corners. If we skip and fast forward to 2024, May, June, shortly before he got his hair transplantation, we can see that his hair loss progressed a little bit onto like Norwood 2.5. From some angles it may appear as Norwood 3, but I would say for most part it's like Norwood 2.5. There are many guys who lose hair way faster, so he's actually lucky. He decided to get a hair transplant. Let's look at first maybe at the hairline design. What we see here is that he was the type of Norwood 2.5 who has really almost preserved mid-frontal point, so the start of his hairline actually has not even receded. It was just the corners, it was the temporal hairline that started to move, and his hair loss is still active, and even if he's taking finasteride or any hair loss stabilization medication, the hair loss will still keep on progressing slowly. I like that he did not, in fact, lower his hairline. It is low enough, it's like where his natural hairline used to be, so no reason to lower it further. And for a 32-year-old who will probably keep on losing hair in the future slowly but steadily, I think it's a good hairline. Late May was the date of his procedure, so here we can already see him rocking the new hairline, but already looks like he got shock loss quite early. June 4th already looking with it almost like a mohawk type of haircut, because these restored corners are already falling out, the hair from these corners, because of the shock loss that usually happens between the day 10 and month number 2, month number 3 by some people. If you go to June 28th, which is probably a month after, you can already see that the redness is minimal. We cannot even see that there has been something done. We can see the slight shadow of the restored hairline, but nothing more really. Now, August 17, we can see him here celebrating after probably scoring a goal, and we see that the hair is already starting to come out. It's this stage where you get that patchy growth. One side can grow in quicker than the other. It's uneven. Usually you use fibers in that stage, and I think that's what he has been doing as well. If we go to September 18, we can already see him with a much better hairline, and this is what I think where he uses fibers, because normally you don't get such a full regrowth in 4 months. Now, these are some interviews from December 2024, which is 7 months after his surgery. We can see him having this longer cut. It's not really a buzz cut, but we can see the hair looks very full already. It has no patchy growth. It is, homogeneous looking on the left and right. And one thing is very interesting, that you wouldn't even tell that his the frontal forelock, is actually much denser than the restored hair on the left and right, simply because of his hair type, wavy, almost coiled type of hair, and that makes it easier for that coverage to appear even if the density wasn't so high. And why I think the density was not as high, simply because if we go to his recent buzz cut, which is also from late December, very, very recent one, we can see him being interviewed here. Remember that mohawk part of his hairline right here? You can see that it's much denser, it's looking darker. I'm not saying that the hair on the corners won't get any better, it probably will, but because he got that shock loss quite early on and he started regrowing that hair relatively early on in the month 3 already, I think that his end result on the corners might not be that far away anymore. Now, it's hard to tell if the angles and the directionality of that hair is 100% accurate and 100% on point. Maybe it's slightly off. If we would zoom in more, it's looking really presentable, and if it grows in fuller, I think it's gonna look much better. Even when the frontal forelock is fully preserved, or like 90+%, like in Mo Salah's case, you will always feel like the restored left and right corner is looking less dense, because you have that very, thick looking frontal mohawk like part of that hairline preserved, and if you buzz it off, the contrast will be noticeable. Guys who had it worse before and were like Norwood 3, 4 without any hair in the front more, or just maybe diffusely thinning, they will actually get a more homogeneous and more smoother looking buzz cut, if you will, that doesn't have these contrasty densities, because of course in such case the doctor uses the same density for the whole thing, and it will not look that different. But in Mo Salah's case, the density that they used for the corners was less than in the center with his preserved hair, with his existing hair, and that's normal because the transplant will never give you the same density as you have naturally, and that's the reason, that's the limitation of the hair transplant that we will have to accept. Now, if you plan on having the best looking buzz cut after a hair transplant and make it your priority, and this is how you want to also present yourself, and you want to have that flexibility after your surgery to have that smooth, natural looking buzz cut, make sure you check out this video next. I will link it in the video description below, where I'm talking about the 5 buzz cut killing pitfalls that you need to avoid at all costs if you want to have that happen for you and have that great looking buzz cut. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I wish you a great start into 2025, and I'm gonna be happy to see you here on Let's Get Hair in 2025. Take care, everybody.